What can we learn from Nick Cannon's narcissistic personality disorder diagnosis? Grab your stick, grab your drink. Let's get into this thing right now.
Pop it, smoke it, drink it down. With your boy Cigar Jeff around. Feel the vibe, we're set to roll. Let's play, let's lose control. Sip a drink and smoke will swirl. Join the convo around the world. Relationships we dissect slow. Current events, we let them flow.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you. Y'all know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff, man. Y'all do me a favor. Look below the description. Follow me on the socials. Get the merch. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, man. We got to jump right into this topic. But before I get into it, y'all know I got to introduce my resident mental health expert. I gotta let her introduce herself and tell y'all what she's sipping on tonight.
Look, y'all better go see a real therapist. What's up, JB? Tonight, oh Lord, I dropped my doggone pen. Tonight, here's my little drink.
What you shooting on?
I'm sipping on. That was the closest thing to me. I just had to do an oldie but goodie. My
Hey.
rum haven.
Okay.
Just cracked the bottle open with my Dole pineapple juice and my Publix water.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm sipping on tonight.
Hey, black people gotta show you that dough, boy. We don't drink just anybody pineapple juice.
Yeah, ain't ready for the real one in the glass. I ain't ready for that one.
Give
In the
me
glass
that carton
bottle.
of dough. Give me that carton of dough. Just like you absolutely right.
Yeah.
Gotta love that rum. Gotta love that rum haven though, guys. Look, that's some good stuff. Coconut water, pineapple juice, whatever you want to mix it with. It's good stuff, man. Appreciate you being on. Rhonda told y'all to go to a real therapist, but she is a real therapist. She, now she might not have certain certifications that certain people have, but look, she gonna listen, but she ain't gonna explore. You tell her what you're going through, and she just
Ain't
gonna
got
come back
time.
with the answer. Yeah,
Ain't nobody got time.
she's just a different therapist, so she
No.
gonna just give you the answer. She gonna give you the answer. But that's my resident mental health expert tonight. Y'all didn't know that. Y'all like a new do, man. Y'all like a new do. She gonna be brand new tonight. I said, okay.
Everybody know it's blowout season, so this what we. It won't look like this.
Season.
It won't look like this next week.
Ain't no blowout season.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it's
Appreciate
cold outside.
you being.
So,
It's cold outside.
plus we had a little snow this morning. We had a little snow this morning, so
oh, y'all had some snow to create.
Don't have me up here sweating because I can't be sweating my hair out. So don't say nothing that's gonna make me hot.
I ain't know it snowed at the crib.
Just a little.
A little dusting.
Yeah, it was
okay.
enough. I opened it. I was like, oh,
okay, and it won't frost.
No, we had 2 hour delay.
Apologize, y'all. We get excited when we see some snow on the ground in North Carolina. Yeah, guys, I appreciate you. Appreciate you being on, Rhonda. We're gonna jump right into this thing tonight. I'm smoking, guys. I can tell y'all, Real Cigar K came through. Villager. I'm smoking the Villager Edition Limitada tonight. This thing, man, she broke out this box. No, I don't know. I don't think it costs that much.
Oh, okay.
If it costs that much, I'm gonna wrap it back up.
I know the real cigar taste, so I know it ain't nothing cheap.
Look, guys, she bought it to me. This thing been good, Doc. I've been smoking the last couple of days. This thing is good. So tonight, y'all can see I had time to make it out of a real glass. Got my margarita with my 1800, man. So I'm doing some tequila tonight. Cause when I saw this story, I said me and Rhonda gonna have fun. Cause one thing y'all gonna know, me and Rhonda did a podcast not too long ago about narcissism. I'm gonna link it in the card. Y'all gonna see it up here at some point during the video. I don't know if it's gonna be over my head or Rhonda's head, but I'm gonna link it in the suggested video on another podcast we did about narcissism in general. How you know you're dating a narcissist. Blah 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 blah. You remember doing that podcast, right, Rhonda? Rhonda ain't a fan.
Look, I'm trying not to sweat again.
Rhonda ain't a fan of narcissists. But the reason I wanted to do this, guys, Nick Cannon came out People Magazine did an interview with him, and he came out, guys, and he talked about his personality disorder that he was diagnosed with. Basically, narcissistic. Basically, he was diagnosed as a narcissist. Now, some of y'all ain't been diagnosed as a narcissist, but you exhibiting the symptoms, right? So Nick Cannon went to a real doctor, and this is what he was diagnosed with. And I got an article I'm gonna share with y'all just so y'all can see everything he went over. And Ron and I just gonna discuss this because this really rounded like a part two for us. We just now it's just a celebrity that we're talking about. But I wanted to use Nick Cannon because this came out right around the holidays, and I think it got lost in the media. I think it got lost in the media because it was the holidays, and I wanted to make sure you and I spoke about it. So, Rhonda, when I sent you the topic about Nick Cannon being with it, and don't sweat your blowout out.
No,
Look,
I'm not.
tell me what's first thing.
I ain't even
Tell me
moving.
what's first thing. Tell me what's the first
I
thing.
ain't even moving.
Tell me what's the first thing that came to your mind.
I don't know. I was just like, okay, like I'm glad there's a name for it, for his peace of mind. I don't think it was surprising. I'm gonna just say it like that. I don't think it was surprising based on you can't be like he does so many things. Um, I mean, I just wasn't surprised. I think you have to have a level of narcissism to be as active as he is
Mhm.
in multiple
Mhm.
ways. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Guys, I'm gonna tell y'all when I saw it, and I'm gonna tell y'all which route I'm going. I said something's going on. Something's going on. Something's gonna come out. And I'm wondering, this is just my upfront opinion. I'm not saying this is true, guys. This is for entertainment purposes only. I don't have any inside information or anything like that. But what I thought was happening, I said, okay, Nick Cannon about to get sued. Nick Cannon about to have something come up that's gonna be negative. Now magically, we're talking about a medical condition.
You think so?
That's been absolutely. When a celebrity comes out and says they're going to get help or they start humbling themselves, I said what's gonna come out. Now, I'll tell y'all like this. First thing I thought was, okay, are these Diddy tapes and stuff like this affecting Nick Cannon now? That's the first thing I thought. And then I said, okay, let me read the article and kind of get some details on it. And then I realized, oh God, there it is. Right. So I think after, and I'm gonna share this article with you guys, and then tell y'all what I came up with once I saw the article. At first, I'm like, Nick Cannon about to have something come out, and people are going to be able to feel sorry for him or they're going to say, oh, well, he has this. This is why he did. That was the first thing I thought, Rhonda. So did that catch you off guard that I was thinking about it like that?
Yeah, because I wasn't looking at it like that because I just think part of having narcissistic qualities that's part of the thing. Everything is a cover up. So
Uh, oh, okay. I ain't looking at it like I don't look at. As y'all know, Rhonda ain't a fan of narcissists. Rhonda don't think they have any redemptive. Rhonda
now I
don't think
think
they have any redemptive
everybody
qualities.
probably has a level of it. It just depends on if you
Mm-hmm.
toxic with it or not. Put that down in the comments too. Well, I don't know what else y'all got to know about toxicity and narcissism, but here we are.
But guys, I thought this was a good discussion, and the reason I wanted to do this, guys, Ron and I focus on relationships when I do my long form content. The one thing that I'm a little bit frustrated with Nick Cannon on with this, you should have gotten this checked out a long time ago, right? And one of the things in relationships, y'all better ask people now, have you been diagnosed with any personality disorder? Ronald, you remember how we talked about questions you should ask when you first dating
Mm-hmm.
people and that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I think we got to add one more. Have you
But
been
not if you
diagnosed
ain't
with
going to
anything?
therapy. Not if you're not going to therapy, and
No,
not if
but that's what I
you.
asked.
This can't come
But
from
that's
your
what I said.
pastor or the deacon at the church.
That's what I'm saying to you guys is, have you been professionally diagnosed? Right? Have you been professionally diagnosed with any mental health disorders that I need to know about? Right? We can agree on that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That needs to now be an upfront conversation because guys, I think this was a big bomb to drop on his baby mamas, his family. You look at all the stuff Nick Cannon and done, and now everybody's like, oh my God, now we got to deal with this after all these things that have been created.
Did he say that
So
it felt
go
like
ahead.
it was his whole life, that he's felt like that his whole adult life, or did it feel like something triggered it and then it just got more pronounced? Do you know that part of it?
Well, I don't know that part. I'm gonna just
Oh,
guys.
okay.
All I know is what this article All I know is what this article says. So y'all bear with me. I'm going to share this article. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read it to you guys. But I'm going to break it up so me and Rhonda can talk about it. Then we're going to come right back out. Rhonda, let me know if you can see this. All right. Guys, I'm over here at the Independent. Okay. Can you see that, right?
Yeah.
Here's the title. Nick Cannon says, I need help as he reveals personality disorder diagnosis. The Masked Singer host says he's using his narcissistic personality disorder diagnosis to be an example for others. I said, uh-oh, as soon as I saw it, guys. As soon as I saw it, right? So let's get into it. Nick Cannon has opened up about his recent diagnosis with narcissistic personality disorder. The Masked Singer host, 44, spoke about his mental health journey in an interview with People magazine published on Thursday, November 28th. I still don't understand it all the way, but I kind of always wanted to get tested for it. Now, Rhonda, that goes back to what you said.
Oh.
I didn't understand it all the way, but I kind of always wanted to get tested for it. I did a bunch of tests. Cannon admitted that he was previously diagnosed with attention and deficit hyperactivity disorder and experienced dyslexia growing up. However, the Wild and Out host said he kind of always knew that he is a neurodivergent individual. Neurodivergent individual. He says, I feel like there's so many labels out there, but it's like to be able to embrace it and say, look, I'm healing. I need help. Show me, Cannon continued. I just embrace mental health and therapy in such a strong way. To be able to say I'm an example for others, but also be healing and doing the self process works too. Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you think about just those few quotes already.
I I don't know. I guess because it's very clear that he's been in therapy or in and out of therapy the past however many years, using the words like neurodivergent and things like that. So he's been aware of things. Nobody, typically people with a narcissistic disorder, I wouldn't think that they were stupid people. I think they are very aware, so
Mm-hmm.
I could see him. I mean, I just wonder. I do wonder what could have happened in his childhood that progressively got worse over his adult
Mm-hmm.
years. That makes me question that, but it's very clear that he's been doing some therapy with those statements.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm going to do real fast, guys, is I'm going to share that. I'm going to share that because I just found it. Here we go.
Hmm.
So we can't let that word go and not dive into it.
Okay.
Can you see it, Ron?
I could just see neurodivergent, but I know you about
Okay,
to read it, so
neurodivergent. And I just want y'all to see. I want y'all to see. Let me do this, Ron, just so
yes,
everybody
I
can
do
see it.
not know
Because
what
if you,
that is. Hmm.
all right, so here we go, guys. I just blew it up a little bit. If my mouse will work.
Yeah, I was about to say bring it. Oh, hold on.
All right,
Yeah.
there we go,
Okay.
guys.
There you go. Hmm.
Neurodivergent is a non-medical term that describes people whose brain develop or work differently for some reason. This means the person has different strengths and struggles from people whose brains develop or work more typically. While some people who are neurodivergent have medical condition, it also happens to people where medical condition or diagnosis hasn't been identified. Now,
Mm.
so let me go over here. Let me go back to the other article. Let me get back to our
Hmm.
regular article. Now, Rhonda, you saw that.
Hmm.
Does that definition line up with what you thought?
I really didn't. I really didn't know what it was, other than knowing neuro meant brain and divergent meant like, hey, you're going in all different directions. But
Mm-hmm.
isn't that similar to ADHD or ADD?
Mm-hmm.
But I know in massage, sometimes people will come in with idiopathic disorders or diseases because the doctors don't know where it came from. So I'm assuming it's kind of along that vein of we don't know where, or maybe you won't let us know where. Because again, narcissists are very aware.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, when I started reading this article to prepare uh, for the podcast, I said, I think by the time y'all get to the end of this, I don't know if you're gonna like Nick Cannon more or not. That's what I'm saying. What can you learn from it? I don't know if this helped him or not. And so when I started reading around there and I saw neurodivergent, I forgot to pull it up, and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make sure all the audience knew what it was. And guys, this will be linked in the description for all of my Spotify and Amazon Music listeners. But I'm already like, okay, Nick, I don't know if this is something where Nick Cannon is trying to be relevant still, just need to be in the spotlight, feel like he don't have, enough attention. I was like, here we go, neurodivergent and all this kind of stuff. Okay, let me show y'all that I'm actually going to therapy so y'all don't question it. Not because I'm actually getting therapy to actually help what I have going on type thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, Ron, that's what I get from that. I don't know how you feel about that opinion I have, but when he
No,
started talking,
I
I'm like,
think there's so many different ways I think it's so many different ways you could look at it. I think for me, I just when you're talking about any type of narcissism, there is a very, very real thing to put the spotlight on me type deal. Like everything that'll
mm-hmm,
revolve around me. Everybody know the day after Thanksgiving, Mariah's gonna come out with her She the Queen of Christmas. Nick, we need to know
yep,
about you on Thanksgiving Day. Let Mariah have her moment.
damn
Introduce
sure
us
right.
back to Christmas. Stop. Yes, but again, I don't know what's in his head, and if he does need help, I'm glad that he is getting the help. But I also know it's kind of hard for me to separate the person from the narcissism because it's such an overwhelming thing just to begin with
Mm-hmm.
because it oozes in every area of your life and it's exhausting. And I think that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to say about it because you don't entertain a narcissist. You leave that stuff alone.
Well, I just think his publicist called People. This is People magazine, guys. Even though I'm reading it from the Independent, this is People. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so when I saw it, I'm like, all right, well, if your problem is narcissistic personality disorder, why are you doing an article spotlighting your narcissism? Right? At the end of the day, I'm going through it so that I can try to manage it so that I don't become that guy. But it's like, let me tell you, that's why at first I was like, did this guy do something? Did this guy do something that it's gonna come out and he need to be able to say, I'm going through this and
Well,
I've
but
had
there
it the
are
whole time.
people that's like that out here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure there are a lot of people that are like whatever he's going through out there
Mm-hmm.
and probably
Yeah.
don't even want to acknowledge it. So I can't commend him for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's I don't know. It's again, it's not like he's had a bad career or you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what would come out other than something that has to do with sex or money or drugs or something. Like
It's
I
gonna be
don't
some, it's gonna be something. If something's gonna come out, he needs to be able to say, this is why I did it. Now, going back to the article, guys, according to the Mayo Clinic, narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition that involves a person having an exaggerated sense of self importance, an excessive need for admiration, and an inability to empathize with others. The father of 12 revealed his narcissistic personality disorder diagnosis during an episode of Council Culture podcast earlier this month. Cannon explained to the guest, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, a doctor of psychology, that he had been clinically diagnosed, guys, and for everybody who can't see this, this is in quotes with narcissistic personality disorder and identifies with nearly all markers for the disorder. All markers for the disorder, guys. Now I didn't pull that up in a separate article what
mhm.
all the markers are, but I think you guys can see. Now look, he first went on a council culture podcast. Now he's in People. Now, Rhonda, I ain't even think about the whole Mariah Carey component where her song gonna be playing the whole time because there was another article before that he said he still loved her and that kind of thing. Now the fact I didn't put it like that, but guys, I can tell you like this: I wouldn't put it past that. Okay, everybody gonna be singing Mariah Carey. Let me don't forget about me. Don't
Yeah,
forget about
but
me.
that's every but we do this every year with Mariah. And I love me some
Mm-hmm.
Mariah Carey and I love her Christmas music, but I don't know. Like maybe something is going on internally, like within his family, maybe, and trying to juggle everything. And maybe it is a lot. The holidays are always tougher on people. And then they
Mm-hmm.
tend to let on. And so but again, I'm glad he's getting help for his disorder or
Well, I
disorders.
guess I guess where I am with it, guys. When I first started preparing for the podcast, first thing I said was, dude, you're. I don't think this therapist working because if I'm dealing with it, why am I going public with it? Because I'm still displaying the number one marker, which is, hey, I got this disorder. Let me let you know that I got it. Versus,
Hmm.
I got this disorder. Now I know what to do to get away from that. You see what I'm saying? So if I had ADHD or ADD, I go to the doctor so that I stop exhibiting those symptoms. I don't go to the doctor so that I can accentuate it.
But that's the unfortunate part about mental illness, right? Like there
Mm-hmm.
is a level
Mm-hmm.
of that you think you can control it, right? That's why
Mm-hmm.
it's no different when somebody they stop taking their medicine when they feel better. But no,
Mm-hmm.
you're feeling better because you are consistently taking the medicine.
Yeah.
So I think it's an unfortunate catch-22 with that because yeah, no matter how hard you try, I know I have clients with ADD and ADHD, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole task. It is a whole task
Mm-hmm.
to stay on point and to you can catch on fire. Did you? You good?
Now I ask myself, y'all probably started
Oh, okay.
asking
I'm like, hold
over here
on
with
now.
this fancy, over here
We
with
about to
this
go.
fancy cigar.
We about to go viral for real. Um. So so
Mm-hmm.
no. So I think it's for some people the medicine can work well enough to where it's like, oh, I feel great. Let me stop. I don't need it anymore. And I think it takes a big person to be able to stay on their medicine, to take it and and stay on it. I think that deserves a round of applause because that's not something
That
many
people
people
do.
want to do.
Absolutely.
And then you got most people who don't even want to take medicine, like for anything. So, he just he he's in a world of with being a celebrity that there could be a lot of yes people around you. And they probably good with you being a narcissist or being the way you are. So, it's
Uh, my
he's just layered.
narcissistic, my
It's layers to it.
my narcissistic traits, guys. I got mine under complete control, holistically.
Oh my Lord. So you double.
I
Okay.
got. I. I don't need. I ain't need to go get mine medically diagnosed, clinically diagnosed. Mm-hmm. I know I got it, but I know how to
Mm.
control mine.
Oh, do
I
you?
know how to control mine. Yes,
Okay.
I know how to control mine.
Okay.
Guys, here's the next. Here's the next paragraph. I've taken all the power away from the term narcissism because I've researched it and I understand it. He said at the time, call me whatever you want. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what it was, then I have an issue with it, right? Guys, that's why I just said what I said. I know I have some narcissistic tendencies. I don't apologize for them because I understand when and where I can use them and when and where I can't. And I think that's what a lot of people don't get is that Nick Cannon, his job is to remain relevant. His job is to remain in the spotlight. If we ain't talking about Nick Cannon is not maximizing
But
his brand.
he's still out here working though. He's still out here
Oh yeah, I
working.
agree. That's my point.
We don't need to see no more babies. We had enough of those,
And guess
right?
what?
Like,
Y'all remember when he went on that journey of having the babies, and he had so many of them by different baby mothers and that kind of thing. And I think at the end of the day, I think that's catching up with him. And this is where Ron, this article broke for me, where I stopped feeling sorry, because then it made me realize why he was doing it. If y'all look at this next paragraph,
okay.
this is what got me. He said his 2-year-old son, Zillion, who he shares with Abby De La Rosa, was recently diagnosed with autism this year.
Mm-hmm.
For World Autism Awareness Day on April 2nd, the parents announced on Instagram that their son had recently been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. In the caption, the pair celebrated their son's unique energy and his dynamic nature. Now, today our family recognizes World Autism Day, which is beyond meaningful to us. Our amazing 2-year-old Zillion was recently diagnosed with ASD, joining the unique energy of others like Nikola Tesla, Sir Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, and Michelangelo, just to name a few dynamic individuals they wrote in their post. Our beautiful boy experiences in life in 4D and teaches us something new every day. Rhonda, that's when all of a sudden I said, oh my God, this came together for me on why he's doing what he's doing. Y'all ever seen people? You ever notice that if somebody, like, you see John, if you what was the dude from who used to play in Full House, Stamos? Was it John
John
Stamos?
Stamos. Yeah,
It-
John Stamos.
his friend ended up getting diagnosed with cancer. So what did John Stamos do in the picture? He went and put on a ball cap to make it look like he was bald too, so they could take a picture together.
Hmm.
I said Nick Cannon has got a child that has autism, and I guarantee you, Rhonda, who's getting blamed for the autism?
I mean, I think that's natural for a parent to think, oh my God, I gave
Yes,
my child this or
I
gave my
gave it to him.
child that. But
Yes.
I also, but on the flip side, as pertains to Nick, the narcissism will make him take that from his son,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it without it sounding so bad, but either way, it's narcissism, so it's gonna be bad.
But let's be honest now, guys. I don't know if this baby mama has any other children, but if she has other children and they don't have it, and this one she has with Nick has it, y'all got to understand there might be some guilt going on mentally that said,
But
"Oh
just
my
like women
God."
could have old eggs, men could have old sperm. Y'all could
No,
impregnate people forever, but there could still be some
well,
jacked up sperm.
he would have been 41 or 42 at the time of conception, depending on
Geriatric, geriatric for a woman.
right,
Hmm.
right. Now I don't know how old she is though. See, Ron, I don't know how old she is.
But
Um,
I bet he's never dated someone older than him, other than Mariah.
Let
Everybody
me
else
see
has
why
been
I got
younger.
this.
You said what new?
That's true. Let me look up her name real fast. Y'all give me a second, because y'all may know her already. Abby Day, Abby Day LaRosa. All right. So she has 3 kids. She has 3 kids with Nick Cannon.
Oh,
She has 3 kids with Nick Cannon. It looks like I was looking for like a Wikipedia page, but she's a DJ and that kind of thing. I guess I should have done more research on it. But part of me, Rhonda, that's what I was thinking. I said, is he trying to create a reason why something may be different about this child mentally? Now, here's what's going to happen, guys. Let me continue to read. They added, his love, strength, and brilliance light up every room he enters. We are blessed that God has placed such an amazing spirit under our guardianship, and we've accepted this assignment wholeheartedly. The pair concluded the post by asking for a world of acceptance and compassion in light of the impact the disorder has had on many families. It says, in addition, Zillion Cannon and De La Rosa are also parents to Zillion's twin brother Zion and daughter Zeppelin, beautiful
mm.
Zeppelin. Now, I'm going to go back up here to this, guys, because Ronnie, you know what I didn't do, and I probably should have done my research. I wonder, are they realizing that the 2-year-old is nonverbal,
Possibly.
right?
I think it's yeah. I think
Because
it's a number of things that could
Mhm.
show up. Um, yeah, I think it's a number of things that could show up. I mean, that's
So
such a funny subject. Being on the spectrum is such a
being on the spectrum, he didn't say
yeah.
where
It's
he didn't say
yeah.
where they were on the spectrum, and then I started realizing, I'm like, did he come up with this because he needed to cope with, was he the reason that this happened with this child? And because he was trying to have all these kids, because he was going through that phase, that does he feel guilty that, oh my God, if I wouldn't have forced,
Oh
if I
no, there's
wasn't
no
on this,
guilt. There's no guilt.
you don't think it's any guilt? Wow.
Not with
Okay.
narcissists. No, 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 no,
Okay.
no.
So,
Mm-mm.
you believe, see, that's why, Rhonda, I don't know if I
There's
believe
the
this
appearance of
disorder.
guilt. The appearance of guilt, but still, the
Okay.
spotlight for a narcissist will still be on you. At the end of it, still will
Yeah.
be on you.
Yeah.
I'm sure he
So,
loves his
so,
child, but we can't let the child be his stuff be bigger than my stuff.
and I think that's what I'm like, okay, I thought I found somebody who was trying to say, let me come up with something so that I can figure out why is this happening. And so let me beat myself up, right? And because again, I don't see how the therapy is working. I don't see how the therapy is working, right? Which is, I don't understand. I get that you may have an autistic child and all that kind of stuff, but you gave this article to people. I don't see how narcissism has to do with autism for your child. You see what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
can see if you were doing the People article to just talk solely about your child, and let us find out down the road you got diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder.
Well, I think in and of itself, like when you, that's why I said with this spectrum of autism, when you look at the spectrum, and I don't know for sure because I'm not licensed in anything like that. Just looking at, it's no different than somebody being on the spectrum and having ADD or having
Mm-hmm.
ADHD. And then you have the other side where, or that first side where it's like not like you said, nonverbal or whatever may have shown up like with
Yes, but
them,
if it's
right?
a twin, if it's a twin, Rhonda, if it's a twin, and the other twin developing fine, the other twin can draw pictures or acknowledge pictures, or when 2 year olds can can
But
count
no,
or can whatever.
I have a friend that her sons are grown now, like in their 30s, but they were twins. One is a thriving dentist, and the other one he's on the spectrum. Can never live alone. Will
Mm-hmm.
always have to have
Mm-hmm.
care, right? And so both of those things could happen. Is it's the unfortunate thing, but I also believe he. I don't know if he's able, because of his diagnosis with the personality disorder, in his mind I'm sure he believes he's showing empathy for his son when
Yes.
that's not his capacity. It's just, but it sounds good. At least it sounds
Yes.
good, because if
Yes.
you're going to make it about your son, make it about your son only. Don't insert yourself
That's
in
what
there.
I think that's what I
So
got, right? Which is, am I calling my publicist and telling my publicist, hey, put it out there. I need to let people know that I got this. You see what I'm saying, Ron? That's why it came back to me. That's why it came back to me as kind of like I ain't figuring out who had a question on whether Nick Cannon had an officially or clinically diagnosed narcissistic personality disorder. Like, okay, Nick, you kind of been out there for a while. You're a host. You like the spotlight. We can see it, but I don't know where to. And then when I see this autism thing, and I'm like, are we really talking about the kid, or are we using the kid to talk about me?
I feel like that therapist put him on blast, and he don't know what to do. So let me
Mm-hmm.
come up with
Mm-hmm.
something that is official, um, but still non-medical. Because I'm like, sir, have several seats. Get your help, but have several seats. So yeah,
Yeah.
no. Again, because it's labeled narcissistic personality disorder, that in and of itself lets me know he's gonna manipulate every situation there is. Period.
And I think that's what I took away from it, guys. As y'all kind of reflect on that article and kind of as Ron and I are talking, I don't know if I'm here to. I don't know if Nick Cannon wanted me to know about autism or if Nick Cannon wanted me to know about him.
Oh no,
And
he
if
wanted you
therapy
to
was
know about
working,
him.
he
There,
wanted you to know about him.
yes.
And it's like, are people coming to him saying he's the reason the child got autism? And this is his way of trying to come out and say, y'all don't beat me up. I got a medical condition or I got a mental health condition. And I'm doing it because once I found out I'm being public because once I was comfortable enough to talk about my son's autism, I can now talk about mine too. And that's why, Rhonda, when I was preparing for
Or
this,
did they
I
take it to another level and say, "Look, Nick, you got to stop having these kids." You telling the
that's
narcissist they can't do something? If that's his baby boy, right? If that's the baby boy, I'm assuming that's
that's
the
the
last one.
twin.
Yeah.
No, he got one more after that one.
Oh, okay.
So
I just remember the
according
one that
to
passed away, and then I knew he
yes,
had some more, so that's why I was like, okay.
yes, yes. So
I don't know. I
I
think it's
think
a
Rhonda,
rabbit hole that you go down when dealing with someone. And because he's diagnosed with it, it's kind of like you have to look at him sideways anyway. Like, okay, sir.
I guess what we can learn, guys, is that's one of the things I was talking about on what we can learn from this. I'm learning from this that the way Nick Cannon sees it is, if I can tell y'all that I got this, don't judge me on anything else.
Narcissist.
Right?
Okay, that's number
Right?
one.
That's what
What's
he's
number two?
saying. Right?
Uh
He
huh.
said, don't judge me
Narcissist. Uh
because
huh. Mm-hmm.
I got a clinically diagnosed order now that says I have this. Next,
Non-medical, but go ahead. Uh huh.
non-medical, right?
Uh huh.
Next, feel sorry for me as I work so much harder on top of what I already do to deal with this autistic child.
Narcissist. Let me manipulate you even more, so I could get all the
Well,
empathy. But go ahead.
but here's what happened. What can we learn? What can we learn if you're in a relationship with this, right? Which
Don't
is
be in a
which
relationship.
is
Don't bring that to nobody else.
Well, now if you're gonna be in one, guys, here's what you're dealing with. You
And
see what
most
I'm
people gonna
saying?
be in
'Cause
one. So I know what you're saying. Yeah.
most people are gonna already be in it, and so now, I like when I saw John Stamos put on that ball cap but didn't shave his head. Like, bro, how you gonna try to make yourself look bald so I can feel better versus shaving your head? And so that's
Cause he
what it
gotta work.
started making.
He probably still out here
No,
working.
right? They can give him a wig though. They can give him a
Mm-mm.
wig that'll make him look
No,
just like
man,
himself.
I don't like you that much. I just gotta give the appearance.
And that's what. And guys, we
I
don't
just gotta
realize
give you
how
the
much
appearance.
narcissism. We don't realize how much narcissism we have in us. That I didn't even think about it until I started preparing for this podcast, and I saw John Stamos' picture, and I'm like, well, damn, he just like Nick Cannon. So I'm gonna make it about me by putting on a fake ball cap
Which draws more
so that I
attention
can
to
take
the
a
fake
picture.
ball
To
cap than
draws
it
more.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even know who the guy was. The guy who got cancer sitting here really got a
He
bald
was the
head.
funny one, right? Was he Joey? I forgot his name, but he was the
No,
funny one.
he was the Rico Suave one, the single one. You know,
Because
on
what's the
Full
name
House,
passed
but
away? What's the name passed
yeah,
away?
Bob Zagat. Bob Zagat passed
Yeah.
away.
And so it's the blonde one.
The blonde Joey, and then Uncle.
Yeah, he's the one that
I can't remember. Yeah, but when I saw that, guys, and what I'm trying to tell everybody is when I wanted to do this podcast, that's why I was like, what can we learn from it? And what you can learn from it, guys, is two things. There's two ways you got to look at it. Am I already in it with one, whether male or female, or am I thinking about getting in with somebody? Right? We ain't made it exclusive. We ain't made it official. But if you're already in it, versus if you considering getting in it. That's two different things you can learn. What advice would you give, Ron, to the people who
no, I mean,
might be thinking about getting with somebody who comes to you with a non-medical clinical diagnosis?
but you gave the best advice at the beginning, saying, look, that should be add that to your list of questions of with your 5-year plan. Like, do you have any diagnosed, undiagnosed? We need to cover the whole
Right?
gamut of things. Like, or maybe a better question would be, how would your family describe you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you may have to go with
Mm-hmm.
some questions like that. What would your family say about you? What would your best friend say about you? Right?
It's funny you said it, Ron. I saw an Instagram reel the other
Mm.
day that the lady was thinking about dating this guy, and she said to him, give me your ex-wife's number
Mm.
so I can call and do a reference
That's a
check.
good one. Yeah.
And I started thinking about it that what if people had to call exes before they were allowed to get in a relationship or get married? Because
Hmm.
when you get a job, they call references.
Absolutely.
They call references. So one of the things I would tell everybody, like what Rhonda said, how would your family describe you? But my next thing would be, how would your employer describe you?
Mm.
Because one of the things you guys are going to find is if I were to talk to your boss or your coworkers, what would they say? Right? They gonna say this, this, and this. Because I don't want the you that's not gonna be at work. I want you to treat me like you treat these people at work.
Yeah.
I
Because you're
don't
going to
want you to
straighten up.
think
You're
that
going to straighten up and act right at work.
you straighten up and act
You act
right
a
at
whole
work
fool when you get home.
when you get home. So I don't want you to come home and be different because what do I tell you guys all the time? There's two questions that matter. What's your name and what do you do? Okay, tell me what they say about you at work. I need to talk to them. When y'all gonna have a little happy hour? I need to talk to them. I want to meet them. One of the things you guys are going to find if you're thinking about getting in with a narcissist, we did this on the previous podcast. The narcissist is going to take you on an exciting roller coaster ride, but it's going to be some highs and it's going to be some lows.
Terrible
What you're
lows.
dealing with is the lows. What you got to deal with is the lows. Okay. You need to know drinking habits, drug habits, right? Coping mechanisms. You better know that because at the end of the day, when it gets low, you're going to experience 4 seasons. And they all may happen together, right?
Within minutes.
That's within minutes, guys. And so
Hmm.
what we can learn, guys, is if you considering getting into a relationship with them, it don't mean you don't. It just you need to know how this person is managing it. And now, excuse me, if you come into the picture, that my bad. Dog margarita good.
Is that what it is?
Full disclosure, I had me a ginger ale before I came on.
Oh,
I had me a
Lord.
ginger ale, that ginger ale got me. That ginger ale got me right. But you need
Mm.
to know, guys, you need to know what you're going how you fit with this person. Hey, do me a favor in your life right now. envision me fitting in. Walk me through. Walk me through how you envision me in your life, right? That's the beauty that you got if y'all ain't official. What do you think about that, Rhonda? Having them walk you through and see if they make it about them, or do they make it about you?
I don't know, because I feel like if they are narcissists, there's no way they cannot not make it about them. And so they have to. It has to be grandiose. It has to be. They always have to be the one that looks the best in the story, no matter what trip they're going to take you on, right? And so I guess the better gesture is, okay, are there going to be any flaws with this person? Are they going to say anything that may not have been 100% on the up and up, or like, can they even acknowledge that they even had space to
Mm-hmm.
say that, oh yeah, I wasn't at 100% or doing whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
So.
I think it's what they don't do, because you already should know what they're there to impress you, so you should be ready for that.
Mhm.
It's what they don't say, I think, that matters more when it comes to a narcissist, because they are supposed to love bomb you. They are supposed to take you on these highs and lows, and like that's their nature.
Guys,
That's
it's the part of the process. It's gonna be these very high highs and some very low lows. And you got to make sure that you ready for that ride. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, I ain't been diagnosed, but I know I got some of them qualities. What I'm trying to tell you is, guys, what I'm trying to tell you is you better know when to pull them out and when to put them on the shelf. Because if you ain't nobody gonna understand you at that level. But that's why I say training. Now I'm gonna go there, Ron. Whether you in it or whether you getting there, the first thing I'm gonna tell everybody: what can we learn? Hey, I understand you have a narcissistic personality disorder. Okay, cool. I gotta have you take a DISC assessment or Myers Briggs or some type of personality assessment so we
You
can
say
have
this
a
as in a
roadmap on
relationship or somebody at
in a
work?
relationship. No,
Oh,
in a relationship.
mhm.
Because y'all know this in Myers Briggs, it started out as marriage counseling material. Corporate America bought it in later on, but this was what professional marriage counselors used. So you can be a narcissist all day. Okay, let me see how you think so I can know the adjustments I need to make and you know the adjustments you need to make. What do you think about that, Ron?
I just know if something chemically is going on in your brain, ain't nothing I could do to help you. And it ain't nothing unless you want to do something. Like, it ain't nothing. No, not even my essential oils are gonna be good for that.
I'm not no essential oil.
And I
Rhonda,
love, I swear by my essential oils. But I'm
Rhonda
just
said the
saying,
essential oils can't help you.
like, yeah,
And
some
see,
little
guys,
frankincense
I'm a
in his drink.
I'm a little bit different, guys, because anybody who has been a manager for me, the first thing I do is disc assess you. Why? I ain't gonna guess if you got any types of personality stuff going on. I need to know because if you got the personality disorder or not, I still need to know how to work with you.
Let me know your zodiac.
Okay,
I'm
right.
just
That's what I
playing.
was
I'm
gonna
just
say
playing.
next. No, that's where I was going next, guys. I was gonna say personality assessment, like you take at work
And your
before
sun and
they
moon
hire
rising.
you. And now I got to know some zodiac and numerology and astrology. Guys, if you get with a narcissist, whether male or female, it's just going to be more work, right? It's just going to be more work. Just like if you decide to buy an exotic car, right? The car going to get you from A to B, but there's going to be a lot of lights coming on in the dash all the time. Something always going to be breaking down. Are you willing to take it to the dealer and work with it? Or are you going to say, man, let me trade this in and go back to my Honda? Right? Because honestly, that's what it comes down to. See, guys, me and Ron have done a lot of these podcasts, and here's the one thing. Nick said he's going to be on this journey with his child with autism, but I ain't see no specifics. I
No,
ain't see
he
no
just gonna be
specifics.
there. He
You're
just gonna
gonna
be there.
be there,
Yeah.
but now all of a sudden, tell me what the schedule looked like for a 2-year old with autism and where you are specifically fitting in. I just found it hard to believe, and I'm like, is something coming out on him, or why is he doing this all of a sudden,
I
or
guess we about
that
to
having
find
all the
out.
kids having all the children, did he run out of capital? And what I mean by that, that was no longer putting him in the news. He had so many kids that don't nobody care that he got kids now. Now I got to come up with something else that's going to keep me in the news. Because y'all
Listen,
remember,
I think that woman checked him real good and put to put him on such a platform where it had people talk. Wasn't it Cam she got next or whatever? Wasn't that the same
she did
lady?
Cam.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I just think it's look. The mirror can feel great, but that mirror could also suck when somebody putting something back on you and what you actually present with. So yeah,
Look, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I'm a Nick Cannon fan. I'm going back to Love Don't Cost a Thing. I'm going back to Drumline. I'm a
the
Nick
drum
Cannon
line, yeah.
fan, right? I don't do the whole wilding out thing, even though a lot of people love wilding out. But if you take me back to Love Don't Cost a Thing and take me back to Drumline, I'm a Nick Cannon. I'm a Nick Cannon fan. I still respect wilding out because what he does there to bring all those people together, that's pretty admirable,
The
right?
clips I've
He can
seen
bring
have
all
been
these people.
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And you think about all the people who done got opportunities because of wilding out, right?
Hmm.
I don't do the whole mass singer thing, but I know a lot of people who love the mass singer,
Well, that's
right? He
why I
used
asked
to
if
do what
something
else did he used
triggered it, right? That's what I'm saying. If something triggered
to do?
this particular thing, because you
Yeah.
could seem like you're doing well and then you're not, and not nine
hmm
times out of ten, something triggers it.
But I'm gonna do real fast run. Let me look up to see if something else then came up.
No,
Well, other than Nick Cannon claim that, or Orlando Brown claim that Nick Cannon did you know what to see Rhonda, I didn't look it up. I didn't look it up before I came on. Orlando Brown came out. Y'all know Orlando Brown from That's So Raven came out today saying that Nick Cannon did you know what to his Cannon.
well,
Yeah. And of course, and y'all know Orlando Brown, or yeah, he said, Nick,
he's
you
had his
suck my,
struggles
you
for
know
sure.
what? And don't you ever forget it. That's why Mariah Carey left you, and you're a lying N-word. Stop lying, running around here with Kevin Hart. Yeah, yeah. See, guys, I didn't get to that point, but we gonna see. We gonna see. And don't get me wrong, Orlando, we know he got his issues. I don't know what the relevance is, but if you Google Nick Cannon at the time of this recording, that's what was coming out. That's what was, and Nick said it hurts me to see him crash out like this.
Yeah, because what else would
Yeah,
someone like that say? Of course, that's what he'll say.
yeah.
All I
He
know
says,
is we dismiss the victims a lot, just in general when it comes to certain things. And that's not to say
yeah,
that certain people can't lie. I just feel like stuff always going to come out. So this makes sense why he need help. What you need help not sucking stuff thing.
well, and right, look, I'm gonna tell you, this one got me, guys, because I'm just looking this up on my phone right now just to see what would happen if I Google Nick Cannon. Well, if Nick Cannon knew this was gonna come out, if Nick Cannon knew this was gonna come out, or this is kind of been, guys, with this Diddy stuff, man, you don't know what to think now. You
But
don't
that's
know
what
who
narcissism
is what.
does. I have to cut it off at the
Hmm?
head. I have to get ahead of it. I have to be the one. Let me present
Yeah.
myself as someone who is upright, or as the church folks say, decent and in order. Let me
Mm-hmm.
present myself that way, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Abuse is abuse is abuse. That's how I look at it. I don't care how it comes. It's
Now,
abuse.
and y'all know, man, I'm a big Country Wayne fan. I'm a big Country Wayne fan. And anybody who watched Country Wayne on YouTube, and like, as we get ready to close out, anybody who watched Country Wayne on YouTube, I'm glad you said that, Rhonda. There's a Country Wayne has a lot of different storylines going on, and one of the storylines is Amber and Anthony Dalton are married. Shayla is Amber's best friend. Shayla got pregnant by
These are his characters.
Amber. These are his characters. It's
Oh,
Young
okay.
and Restless all over again.
Okay.
So Amber's husband got her best friend pregnant. So now Diesel is also one of the storylines who is dating Anthony's cousin. Guys, y'all can't
And
understand
you
how
know it.
invested I am in this.
Let's see.
So Diesel had an episode. They've been trying to get him regulated and all that kind of stuff. He'd been to the crazy house multiple times. He had an episode where he came outside and Anthony was standing out there, Shayla was standing out there, and Amber was standing out there, along with Coco, who he's dating. And Anthony was like, man, what you doing in my house? I told you not to come to my house. Well, if your cousin wasn't taking so long, I wouldn't have had to come around here and get her. I told her I didn't want to come here in the first place. Now, Diesel is a crazy one. Anthony said, well, next time don't get out the car. He said, man, who you think you're talking to? Right? And Coco was like, Diesel, you know, you haven't had your meds. Calm down. We don't want this to get. What do you mean calm down? Why do I have to calm down? I ain't the one who should calm down. Who need to calm down is Anthony and Shayla. Hey, Amber, you know Anthony sleeping with Shayla, and that's his baby, right? And everybody like, Diesel, man, you need to stop. Don't say stuff like that. You need your medication. Shayla got the hell out of that. She was like, I feel like my baby is in danger. I don't want my baby to see this. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
When I see this with Nick Cannon in Orlando, I don't know if it's true. I don't care if it's true. But what you just said is, right? What you just said made sense. Like, nah, man, he crashing out. Okay. He crashing out, right? But I want to hear something else. I want to hear like, nah, bruh, you know
Did
damn well
Orlando's career go downhill after what happened?
how
Who
to
had
know.
more?
See, Rhonda,
Who had who had more authority
go ahead.
at that time?
No, I agree. I agree.
I'm just saying. Listen,
I agree.
I could see people in positions of power, or they've reached a certain point of making money and stuff, where they feel like, you know what, or those ones that's coming up. This what you got to do. That's what I'm saying, man. Don't be look. Listen to Cat Williams. I
I,
probably need to watch that thing again just to see who else he done
bruh,
exposed, because the stuff is it's
bruh.
all of it's coming out.
If guys, I don't know if it's element of truth of this. I'm just trying to Google Nick Cannon. I did not know this was out there. Now that's another podcast for another day that we don't have time for tonight. But the reason I wanted to share this with you guys is because another question you want to ask: what can you learn from people if you're dealing with these people? Tell me anything that may come out that nobody knows about. Because if we together and it come out, I got to deal with it,
Well,
right? So
especially in
Nick
this
has
day and
gone from
age.
man, who you telling, guys? And I don't know if I don't care about that whole component of it. That wasn't part of my podcast. But what I'm saying to you guys is this: if you blame the person who said something versus you can't put yourself in a position where something like that is said anyway, right? Is there an element of truth in any part that he's saying? That's the craziest part. And now you want to act like you on this holier than thou thing. I hate to see him crashing out like this. Well, guys, what did
Man,
that
he was
lawyer?
supposed to stay. You was supposed to stay quiet.
You was yeah, like dude, nah, man, what you saying is crazy, man. Y'all know he need help. Don't listen to him. Well, Nick, the problem you got is people picking this up on major online websites,
And let's be real, he got stuff to protect, right? The Mass Singer or whatever else he's on, like So
and that's why these disorders. I got ADHD. I got narcissistic personality disorder.
please don't
I'm
fire me.
embracing it. Please don't follow me. That I guess, Ron, I'm glad you said that. It came across as more of an excuse, as more of a hey, I'm going to
I'm
start living life a
remorseful.
little bit
Yes,
different.
I
Yes,
really know I did something
absolutely,
that was inappropriate.
absolutely. Rhonda, what's your takeaway from tonight as we get ready to get out of here?
I mean, if we're talking about what can we learn, man, it's just like stop playing around with your mental health. If you need to talk to somebody or get some medication, man, go and get that mess and do what you got to do, because this on you. But for those of you who think you could save a person, no, you cannot. They can only save themselves by doing the work that they need to do. And even then, as a narcissist, that's going to be tough. So you pick your battles. And if you want to live that lifestyle, you go head on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't do it.
I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all my takeaway. That's not gonna be popular. Don't go to therapy. Don't go to therapy if you're trying to justify your wrong teaching. Right? A lot of us get taught wrong, and then we go to the therapist and say, "How do we make this wrong work?" Guys, if it calls for a screw but you got a nail, it ain't gonna work. If it calls for a bolt and you got a screw, it ain't gonna work. Right? So now what you got to understand is I can't go through life justifying wrong teaching. And a lot of us are using therapy for the wrong situation. Therapy is not so you can justify how you are. Therapy is to learn truth, first of all. And once I learn truth, I'm going to implement that truth, not try to justify my lie. So let me
Yeah.
figure out a way to make you have to accept me versus let me find out what the truth is objectively and work toward that. That's my takeaway from it, because a lot of people are trying to make their lie true. And ain't no therapist in the world can do that. And people sitting down crying at a therapist, blaming everybody else. But what they're not blaming is, hey, I got taught wrong. I am walking around in ignorance, man. And y'all know what it is. It's Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. Y'all do me a favor, get down in the comment section. Let us know what y'all think about the whole Nick Cannon situation and his personality, narcissistic personality disorder, man. Is Jeff around the crazy? Or if we own to something, man, let us know down in the comment section. If you hadn't already, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notification. I got to thank my resident mental health expert, Ronnie. Let them know where they can find you. Let them know where they can find you on the social.
And y'all are real therapists. You can find me on IG at RMBLMBT.
Man, once again, get down in the description. All the articles are linked. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm going to holler.